My inspiration was bankruptcy. At the end of 2009, I had to look at my credit card debt and my income and say, I think I'm bankrupt, and make an appointment with a bankruptcy attorney. But he couldn't see me until February, and here it was, the first day of December. And so I picked up a pen and I asked my divine voice, what can I do? I want to create a beautiful life. I can't see the bankruptcy attorney until February. What do I do until then? Well, you ask on the page for divine guidance, you are going to receive divine guidance. And I received very clear guidance that I was to do deep soul writing every single day in the month of December. In the first week, I was to work only on a preparation, only on my prayers, only on getting ready for this deep creation of a new life. In the second week, I was to look back at the life I had already created, find all the gifts, find all the blessings, because Janet, you can't create a new life if you don't understand the life you have already created. In the third week, I was to release, forgive, let go of anything and everything growing and festering inside of me, because in order to create space for the new, I had to release and let go of all of the old. And then finally, in the fourth week, I could really look at what I wanted in this new life. So I did this. The entire month of December, I wrote every single day. On January 1st, I felt ready to call in my beautiful new life. And so I sat down, but instead of picking up a pen and my journal and beginning to do my deep soul writing, I got a little nudge to lean down and pick up this book that was sitting at my feet on the floor. Thich Nhat Hanh's You Are Here. I had never read it before. I knew it was due the next day, and I knew it was an introduction to Buddhism about which I know nothing. Why did I read this book instead of doing my deep soul writing on January 1st of 2010? I do not have an answer to that question, but all I can say is thank you. Because as I opened this book and began to read, Thich Nhat Hanh drew me deeper and deeper into the Buddha's great teachings until I reached the sentence that changed my life forever and is now going to change yours. The sentence is, when conditions are sufficient, there is a manifestation. I threw down the book, jumped out of the chair, my head in my hands. I raced around my office going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, everything we think we know about the law of attraction and manifestation is 180 degrees off. We are so focused on the manifestation, and it's not about the manifestation. It's about creating conditions. And I knew I had to change everything I wanted to plan for the next year. But before I was ready to do that, I needed to know, did Jesus teach the same thing? For that, I went to my bookshelves and read Blessings of the Cosmos by Neil Douglas Klotz, a great expert on what Jesus actually said in Aramaic. Because you understand, when we read him in the Bible, that's in English, which came from the Latin, which came from the Greek, and Jesus did not speak English or Latin or Greek. He spoke Aramaic. And so to understand what his listeners heard, we need to go back to the Aramaic. Well, what we read as Seek Ye First the Kingdom is in Aramaic something a little closer to this. When you pursue a right relationship with Spirit and allow that relationship to realign your life, you create, are you ready? A condition of receptivity, the Buddha's words, and everything you need to fulfill your soul's purpose will, that's a promise, will be supplied by the universe. So based on the great teachings of Buddha and Jesus, I finished my soul day and I created an intention mandala. And yes, the things I wanted are on that mandala, but at the center, I drew a lily holding my 6 conditions, the way I will live from now on to create these fertile conditions, to create the life I want. So the very next day, January 2nd, I stood in front of my mandala and I said my conditions out loud and I committed to them one more time and I lived them every single day. So in February, I went to see the bankruptcy attorney. He explained the process and he said, do you have any questions? I said, yes, actually, I do have one question. I made $12,000 in January. Is that a problem? He said, well, yeah, it's a problem. You're not bankrupt. Come back when you're bankrupt. I have not been back to see the bankruptcy attorney, and this is what I want for you. In the Lotus and the Lily, you too will go through these 4 weeks of daily deep soul writing. You too will learn how to create the conditions to manifest the life that you are waiting to live. Heaven on earth is possible.